Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you tried learning Tailwind CSS, watched tons of tutorials but still felt stuck when it came to actually using it in real projects? If that sounds like you, then this video is just what you need. Today we are not only going to learn what Tailwind CSS is and how it works behind the scenes, but also why it's so powerful compared to regular CSS. I'll give you quick crash course so you can understand the core concepts without wasting time. And here's where it gets exciting. We are not just stopping at theory. Together, we will build not one, not two, but three awesome projects using React and Tailwind CSS. The first project we are going to build is a clean and professional portfolio website. The second project we are going to build is a modern e-commerce site, and the third project we are going to build is a stunning visually rich restaurant website. Also, if you are looking for industry level projects to build on your own, check out frontendlab.io, your one-stop platform for front-end development. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced developer, you'll find a wide range of projects to work on. Each project includes clear instructions on what to build, Figma design, and community support if you get stuck. You can even deploy and share your work directly from the platform. Over 500 plus developers are already learning and building with frontendlab.io, so join the party now. Links are in the description. By the end of this video, you won't just know Tailwind CSS, you'll master it through practice. You'll have 3 complete projects ready to add to your resume or showcase on your portfolio. So whether you are a beginner who is tired of just watching tutorials or someone looking to level up with hands-on project, this video will help you turn that knowledge into real-world skills. Also, if you are finding the video helpful, please consider subscribing. Like more than 90% of viewers have not subscribed yet. And your support really motivates me to keep creating more quality content. So now let's dive in. Tailwind is created by Adam Wharton. Tailwind CSS is a low-level utility-first CSS framework that helps you build modern, responsive, and customizable user interfaces quickly. Instead of writing custom CSS for every component, Tailwind provides utility classes that you can apply directly in your HTML or JSX to design your components. Now, if we compare Tailwind with other libraries like Bootstrap, Material UI, or nDesign, the difference is clear. Those libraries give you ready-made UI components such as navbars, footers, buttons, and cards. While this is convenient, it often makes websites look very similar, and it's easy to tell when a site is using Bootstrap or Material UI. With Tailwind, you don't get pre-built components. Instead, you get low-level utility classes that allow you to create your own components from scratch. This gives you more control, flexibility, and the ability to make your project look unique. Another big advantage is performance. Many big tech companies use Tailwind because it saves hours of development time, and when you deploy your app, the CSS bundle size is usually less than 10 KB. That's because Tailwind reuse the same utility classes instead of creating new ones, which keeps your bundle size small and your app fast. Now let's see how does Tailwind CSS actually work. Let's break it down. First, I want you to think about how we normally write custom CSS. What we do is usually we define a class inside a CSS file and then assign it to an element. For example, here we have this container class which is defined in the CSS file, and then first we have the display flex property, then we have align item center and justify content center. And then what we do is in our HTML or JSX we use it like this. Here we have a div, and in class name we have attached the container class. So now the div which having the container class will have all this CSS property applied. Now Tailwind changes this approach completely. Instead of writing separate CSS classes, you apply utility classes directly to your element to get that style. What I mean by this is, you can see this same example in Tailwind. Here we have the div, and in class name what we are doing here, we are adding Tailwind utility classes to get that style to our element. First we have added the flex class, then we have item centers, and then justify center. So what's happening here is, behind the scenes Tailwind already has predefined utility classes. For example, for flex, Tailwind has flex class which have the property display flex. Then same Tailwind has item center class which have the property align item center, and same for justify center. By combining these small single purpose utility classes directly on our element, we get the same result without ever writing new CSS ourselves. But Tailwind goes even further. It has utilities for almost everything you need: colors, spacing, layout, typography, shadows, borders, and more. So instead of hunting down a CSS file to define a new style, you just add the right utility classes in your markup. To learn Tailwind, we are going to use this Tailwind Play website. You can go to this website, play.tailwindcss.com. Links are also there in the description. We are going to use these Tailwind Play websites for learning Tailwind CSS, as we can write our HTML here and the output directly will be visible here. So we don't have to configure Tailwind CSS locally in our project. In the next part, I am going to teach you how to set up Tailwind in our project when we will build our first project. So here I will start with Hello World program. Let's start with Hello World. I will take one h1 tag here, will write Hello World. Now you can see we have the Hello World output here. How Tailwind works is, Tailwind provides us the utility classes which we can directly apply in the element. Previously in CSS, what we used to do is, we go to this CSS file and then here we define some custom classes and we write vanilla CSS, and then that class we attach to this h1 tag. But in Tailwind, what we do is, we write class, and then Tailwind has predefined utility classes which we can directly apply here. So let's start with the color. Suppose I have to give color to this Hello World. So to give color to this text, if in Tailwind, if you have to give anything to the text, it will always start with the text keyword. And then let's say this simple color we have here is black. So let's give text black. Now the text black is applied to this text, but you can see in the result nothing changes because the text color is already black. Now let's give this class text white. Now the Hello World text is invisible because the background is white. So this is the most simple class we have, black and white. If we go here the generated CSS, and if we go to this utilities tab, you can see how Tailwind is working behind the scene. Here we have given the class text white. So what Tailwind is doing behind the scene is, it has text white class and then it is applying color to this class. So we don't have to write all of this in our CSS file. We can directly use this predefined class. And you can also see the size. Currently it is 1.12 KB size. So this is the benefit of Tailwind. We don't have to write vanilla CSS. We can write the property or the style which we want directly in the element. Now let's try another color. I want to give red color. So I will write text red. Now you can see here we have different options, red 50, 100, 200, 300. As we apply, you can see the text is becoming more visible. So we can use all of these classes to give color. You can see we have classes with shadow colors as well. So for simplicity I will take this 500. So you can see here if I again go to this generated CSS, it has text red 500 and is applying some color to this class. So this is the text color part. Now let's say I want to give background color to this text. To give background color, the keyword starts with is BG. BG stands for background. So I will write BG, and then you can see we have different options here. So let's use background blue, and again we have background blue 100, 200, 300, 400. Let's give background blue 400, and let's change the text color to white. Now we have the background color blue and text white for this h1 tag. So you can see how to give background color in Tailwind CSS. It starts with BG and then we have the color name. Remember, you don't have to remember the every class name. Initially it will be confusing, but as you build your next project, the second project, you will be remember all these classes. It will automatically came to your mind when you will be writing CSS. So it will be easy when you write Tailwind CSS more. Let's give some padding. So how to give padding in Tailwind? So for give padding, it starts with P. P means padding, then dash, and then you can see here we have different values. So padding 0.5 means 0.125 rem. You can see here, we can see that how much padding it's giving for this class. Then we have padding 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 and so on. So let's give padding 4, which is 1 rem. So you can see how we are giving padding. It starts with P, then the class name, which is 4. 4 means 1 rem. Now let's say I want to give 2 rem. So you don't have to remember, just add 4 more. So I will add 4, so it will become 8. So you can see it has 2 rem. So 12 means 3 rem, then 16 means 4 rem and so on. So let's give it 4. Now I will give some margin. So how to give margin? Again, as padding starts with P, so you can guess margin starts with M. So I will give margin of 1 rem. So 1 rem means 4. So you can see it has taken the margin from top, bottom, left and right. In the case of padding, it has taken padding from all the 4 direction, top, bottom, left, right. Now let's say I only want to give padding from top. So we have the class, let's remove this, and we have the class padding top, and I will give 1 rem. So you can see it is only taking padding from the top. Let's say I want to give from bottom. So I will write padding B. B stands for bottom and then 4. Let's say I want to give from left, then you can guess the class padding left means L and then 4. Now let's say I want to give from right, then yeah, it's simple, padding R dash 4. And the same way margin works. For now I will remove all of these classes and it is the same as we are writing padding 4. Then for margin, let's remove this and let's give margin from top. So for giving this I will write M, then we have T and then dash 4. So it will take the margin from top. Let's say I want to give from left, so I will write margin left dash 4. From right I will give margin right dash 4, and same you can give from bottom as well, like margin B dash 4. Now let's revise what we have done until now. First, we have given the text color. So if you want to modify anything in text, it will always start with text keyword, and then suppose you have given here text color to white. We have bunch of more classes for text as well, we will see as we move forward. Then suppose we want to do anything with the background. Suppose we want to give the background color, then it starts with bg means background, and then we have given the background color blue 400. Now to give padding in Tailwind, it starts with keyword p, which stands for padding, and then we have given 4 means 1 rem, and you can always have the access to see what values it is giving. Then we have given margin. So to give margin, it starts with m for margin, and then suppose if we want to give margin from top, then we write t. So mt means margin top, 4 means 1 rem. So we have given margin top 1 rem. Then same with margin left, ml-4, and then we have margin right, mr means margin right. Now let's say we want to give some font size to this our hello world program. So again we have to do something with the text. So you know it starts with text, and now you can see we have multiple classes here: text, 2xl, 3xl, 4xl, and you can see the font size for 4xl is 2.25 rem. So I will write here text xl. So text xl means the font size will be 1.25 rem. We also have one more class, text sm, which is 0.875 rem. Then we have text xl, which is 1.25 rem. So I will use this text xl. So here you can see how we are giving the font size, as we have to do something with the text. So it will start with text and then text xl, which is 1.25 rem. Now let's say I want to do something with the font. So we want to do something with the font, then it will start with font, and then here you can see we have font black, which is giving the font weight of 900. Then we have font bold, which is giving font weight to 700. Then extra bold, extra light, we have bunch of different classes. So I will use font weight medium, which is 500. So you can see if we want to do something with the font, then the keyword starts with font and then the class name. So until now we have learned how to give color to the text, background color, margin, padding and fonts, and also the text size. Now we will see how we can give width and height to the element. So here I will take one div. So to give width and height to the elements, it starts with the w keyword. W stands for width, and then we give the class. So suppose I want to give width to 4, w-4 means 1 rem, and then I will give height to 4, which is 1 rem. Here you can see h4 is applying height of 1 rem. Then I will add background color to black. So here you can see here we have the little box of 4 into 4, which is 16 pixel and 1 rem. Now let's give some margin from top. So I will give, let's say I will give 12, which is 3 rem, and from left I will give 3 rem. Let's increase the width. So I will give another class. So here you can browse, we have different types of classes like 2.5, which is 0.625 rem, 2xl, which is 42 rem, 18 rem. So we will use this one, 2xs, which is 18 rem. And then you can see for height as well we have multiple classes like 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, bunch of different classes which we can use. So let's say we will give 24. So like this we can give width and height to the element. And let's say I want to give max width or max height or mean height or mean width. Suppose if you want to give max height, so it will start with max dash, then what you have to give? You have to give width. So again w dash, and then you have bunch of classes here which you can use. So if you have given max width to 2xl, then any width you will give here, it will not take maximum which you have given here. So let's say we have given the maximum width to 20 rem, and here if you give 25 rem, then it will not take 25 rem, it will only increase the width to the maximum width which is 20 rem. This way it works for height as well. Let's say I will give width to 2xl max width, and again if you have to give height, so again the keyword starts with max dash h, stands for height, and then we have bunch of different classes here. So let's say max height to 40, which is max height 10 rem. So I will use this class. So the maximum height we have set is 10 rem, and let's change the background color to something else. Let's give red 300. Yeah, and let's say I want to also give some border. So to give border, it is simple, just we have to write border. We have the border around the corners, and let's say you want to change the border color. We can do this by writing border and then the color name. So let's say I want to give color blue, so I will use this one 400. So you can see we have the border blue. Now let's say you want to increase the border stroke. Here we have the border, so you can write here you can see we have the border stroke like 2, 4, 8. Let's say I will use here 4. And let's say what happens in Tailwind, let's say you want to do something, you want to apply some styles, but the exact style class is not available in Tailwind. Let's say I want to give 3 rem, but you can see here if I want to give 3 rem, then we don't have any class which applies 3 rem. So what we can do, we can also give custom classes as well. So let's say here I will take one span tag and I will write hello world, and let's check if the class exists for 3 rem. I want to give the text size to 3 rem, so I will write text dash. So here we have bunch of classes like SM, then we have LG, then we have medium, but let's say I want to give 3 rem. So how you can give 3 rem? So the syntax is you write text dash and then we apply custom classes here. So I will open this square bracket and here you can simply write 3 rem. So you can see now this hello world text having 3 rem class. This is how we define custom classes in CSS. There will be a multiple instances where you have to give some styles, and for that styles Tailwind does not have classes. So this is useful when you have to apply custom classes, and you can follow this same syntax to give any styles. Like for example, if you want to replace this with custom classes, then you can just open the square bracket and you can write let's say 9 rem. So you can see the width is now 9 rem. So just replace the value with the square bracket and you can give the custom values there. So this is how we use custom classes in Tailwind. Now let's say you want to give box shadow to this hello world. So how to give box shadow? So first I will give some background. Let's say I will give background blue, and then for box shadow just write shadow and you will have the shadow, but it is not visible, so let's give shadow to 2xl. Now you can see here we have shadow, and if you check here in the utilities, if I search shadow 2xl, so you can see it has predefined shadow 2xl class, and this is the CSS. Now you can see the benefits. We don't have to write this much code. We are just using the predefined class and then we got all of these styles. Now we will learn how positions work in Tailwind, how we can use Tailwind utility classes to give positions. So as you know, we have different types of positions like absolute, relative, fixed, sticky. So let's see how we can use the most commonly used positions like absolute and relative. So first here I will create one container and I will give width to 5 rem and I will give the height to 10 rem and I will give border which is black. Let's decrease the height, so I will give height to 5 rem. Let's keep it 8 rem and width to 15 rem, and let's give some margin top, so I will give margin top to 16 which is 4 rem and margin left to 12 which is 3 rem. Now inside this div I will take one span tag and here I will write this is a dummy text. Now let's add some classes here. So for this dummy text I want to give this dummy text element absolute position. So how we can give absolute position in Tailwind is as simple as it sounds, just absolute. Now this is the absolute text. Now you can see after giving positions absolute, you know we can have the access to the top, left, right and bottom. These all are the positions we can give to this dummy text. So if we have given correct absolute position, then top, left, right, bottom should be working. So what I will do here, I will write top to 2. Now you can see the dummy text goes here. Why? Because this dummy text taking the position from its body, but we don't want this. We want this dummy text should take position from this container. So to do this, what we can do, we can make this container as relative. So how we can do that is by simply adding relative class here. So you can see now we have the dummy text here and it is taking the position from its parent container. So you can see if I hover here, Tailwind have this relative class and it is giving the CSS position relative, and same for absolute. If I hover here, it has the absolute class and it is giving the position as absolute. We can give left to 2, then right 2, and we can also give from bottom 2. So this is how we can give position relative and absolute. Now let's see how we can make our website responsive using Tailwind. Let's use this dummy container to learn this. First I will give the background color to red, and if the maximum width or the screen size reaches 768 pixel which is medium, then I want to give different background color, else the red color. If I give blue color, if I want to give blue color, so what I will write MD background to blue. Don't confuse what I have done here. Simply what I am doing here, I am writing MD. MD means medium. Medium means the screen size, if the screen size is greater than or equals to 48 rem, then the background color will be blue, else the background color will be red. So you can observe here, if I increase the screen size greater than 48 rem, let's say you can have the eye here, you can see here we are seeing the width, and if it reaches 768 pixel, then we will have the blue background color. So let's say 640-52, then if I go to 768 or greater than that, see the background color becomes blue. Now it will stay blue, and if I decrease the size less than 768 pixel, then you can see it, now it is red. So here what we are doing, by default we are setting the background color for this container as red, but if the screen size reaches greater than or equals to 48 rem, which is greater than or equals to 768 pixel, then the background color will becomes blue and it will override this color. Now we have bunch of different properties as well for breakpoints. So what I will do, I will copy this and I will paste here, and let's give some padding from bottom. I will write pb12, so we will have some padding from bottom, or let's give margin from bottom. So yeah, we have some margin. Let's increase the margin from bottom. I will use 24, and see this is the dummy text 2. Now what I want to do, I don't want to use MD, I want to use some other class as well. So what you can do, you can simply write here Excel. So what is this now? Excel, you can see Excel means width greater than or equals to 80 rem, which is 1280 pixel. So if the screen size reaches 1280 pixel or greater than this pixel, then the background color will becomes blue. Tailwind is a mobile first responsive, because if you apply any class, it will be a mobile oriented. Now here what we are doing, we are giving the blue background color for the width greater than or equals to 80 rem. Now we don't have to write this all of this thing, we have to just use this Tailwind Excel class and it will work, and by default we are giving the red background color. So you can explore more Tailwind classes by going here on tailwindcss.com and just search breakpoints. If I go here targeting a breakpoint range, you can see here we have multiple variant like max sm, which applies the media query width less than 40 rem, or max md, which is 48 less than 48 rem. Then we have max lg, max xl, max 2xl. You can have a look here and you can read all of these talks to learn more about the breakpoints. Let's say if you want to learn more about the color, then simply go to colors and you can see we are using this red color, orange. You can see we have the color starts from 50 to 950. You can read more about the colors here. Like you can see here, it is using the background sky to 50, which is this one, and background sky to 950, which is this one. So you can browse more about colors here. Now here you can see how this is card component is created in Tailwind and bunch of other things as well. Now we will go back to here and now we will learn how we can use Tailwind for dark mode and light mode. So what I will do, I will remove all of this code, and don't worry, I will give the link for this code for your reference. You will have the file in which you will have all of this code. Let's create one button in Tailwind. So I will write button and the button name will be click. So first I will give margin to 8 and then the background color to orange 400, and I will give padding. So let's say I want to give padding top, bottom and left, right. So we have one more class, like we can use py-4. So py means y means y-axis, y-axis means top and bottom, and similarly to give left and right we have px. So on x-axis means left and right, and I can give 8, and let's decrease this to 2. Then let's say I want to give border radius. So how we can give border radius is just we have to use the Tailwind class which is rounded, and then we have bunch of different properties here. So I will give rounded to md, which is border radius of 0.375 rem. You can see we have multiple other classes as well. Now let's give lg, which is 0.5 rem. So I will keep lg. Then I will give the text color to white. Then I will increase the font to Excel, which is 1.25 rem. When the user hovers on this button, I want to make the cursor pointer. So what we can do, we can write cursor and just cursor pointer. So now you can see the cursor is pointer. And if user hovers on this button, I want to dim the background color. So how we can achieve this is by writing hover, then colon. So this will trigger if the user hovers on this button. So I will write bg orange 300. So now if you see, if I hover, then the background color is changing. Let's make it 500. Now if I hover on this button, you can see the background color is changing. Now what we are going to do is, in light mode we will make this background as orange, and in dark mode we want this button background to blue. So how we can do that is by writing dark colon. So this will be triggered if the user browser changes its mode. So in dark I will give the background color to blue and 400. You can see here we are not doing something extra, like we are just using the same classes but in front of the directives. In dark mode we are giving this class, so it will by default, it will not apply this class. It will only apply if the user browser mode changes. Like here also you can see the background orange is not triggering by default. It will trigger if the user hovers on the button. So if you want to do anything with the state, it will always start with the class name and then colon, and then by default you can use the same class which you use by default. Let's say if you want to increase the padding or if you want to increase the margin, by going in the system preference, I have changed my appearance to dark mode. So you can see now we have the button in blue color. In dark mode we have the blue color. And if I change the appearance again to light mode, now you can see we have the button with the orange background. So this is how we can achieve light mode and dark mode in Tailwind. And one more thing we will do is, in dark mode we will change the hover color to 500. So let's check if it is working or not. So by going in the system setting, I will change the appearance to dark mode. So I will change the appearance to dark mode, and let's check if we are changing the hover color. So if I hover it, you can see now we are changing the background color to blue, 500 here. And in light mode, if I change the appearance to light, then we have the orange background color, and if I hover it, then you can see the background color is changing to this class, background orange 500. Now we will create one card component in Tailwind. So let's start. So here I will take one div and we will use the lorem text. So I will go to lorem and I will pick this one, what is lorem ipsum, and here we will take one span tag, and here again I will take one span tag and I will paste the lorem here. First what class I will give is the background color. Let's increase this width more. Now I will give the background color to blue 300 and I will give the max width to 50%. So you can see we can also use the percentage values as well, like it is giving the max width to 50%. Now also we will see how we can give flex. To give display flex, we simply write flex. Tailwind class already have predefined flex class which is giving the value of display flex. You can see here it has the value of display flex. Now I want this both span tag in column wise. Then what class we can use is flex col. So it will have the flex direction column. Then I want some gap between this span tags. So to give gap, we can simply write gap and the values. So I will give this one gap 4. So you already know 4 means 1 rem. So we will have the gap of 1 rem. Let's make it 2. I think 2 is better. Then I will give some padding 1 rem and border radius to LG. I will give margin from left, will give 12. Yes. So you can see here how we have easily, by writing some classes, we have created this card component. Now if you want, you can go further more, like you can change the background color as well as the text color in dark mode and light mode. Here I will also use this icon. So here I will create one span tag and I have this SVG icon. You can see here it is the note icon. So I will use this icon here, and don't worry, all of these icons and the complete code will be available in the description below. Now I think our card is now looking much better, like we have the icon, then we have the title, description. Let's change the description color. So I will make this to text gray and 400. Let's make it 700. Yes. So you can see now we can differentiate between the title and description, and also change the description font to SM, and for title I will give LG. Yes, I think it's now looking much better. Here we have created our card component, so I will name it card, and here I will add the comment button. Now let's create one alert component. Let's say we want one alert component, the alert which will be shown to the user if user needs to change his password. So I will write the comment alert, and here again I will take one div, and here I will take one span tag, and I will write please change your account password. Then first class I will add is the background color, background to red 300. Then I will give some margin top to 8. Then we will set the width to XL, and then I will set the border to red 500, and let's give width to custom class. So I will give width 12 rem. No, let's make it 20 rem. Yeah. And then here I will take one cross icon. I will use just X. Now I will give padding here. So I will write P, padding of 1 rem, and let's increase the width to 25, or let's say 23. Let's change the border color to 400 and background color to 100. Then I will make this div as flex and justify between. So you know, justify between is the class already defined in Tailwind which gives the justify content to space between. So I will use this class, and margin left of 2 rem. Now you can see it's looking like a alert. Let's give this class as cursor pointer, and let's give some font size as well. So I will make this as LG or SM, and font to medium. Yes, and you can see it also have the cursor pointer. So now it's looking like a alert component which alerts the user to change your account password. Now I will teach you one feature of the Tailwind which is the most useful feature you can use while you building your first Tailwind project. So I will go to the CSS file, and if you see here we have theme. So what is this theme is, here we can define our classes, like we can define class for font families, font size, colors, background colors, any class we can define here, and then we can use that custom class in our entire app. So let's say I want to define one class here. Let's say the class name will be Frontend Lab, Also, if you are learning front-end development or preparing for your upcoming front-end interviews, then don't forget to check out frontendlab.io. Like, you can go to frontendlab.io and you can prepare for your front-end interviews. You can build your project. Already on the platform, 500 plus developers are already building the projects. You will have the design, detailed description of what to build, and then you can share on the platform as well. So don't forget to check out frontendlab.io. So to give frontend lab class, and then we can use the frontend lab class in our platform. So why we give class here? There is a one famous website from where you can take the classes, Color Hunt. So you know, this is the color plates for designers and artists. So you can pick up your app classes from here. So if I search blue, then you can see we have multiple color plates here. So let's say I want to use this class, or let's say this one. I want to use this class for my primary color in my app. So what I will do, first choice I have, I can give the custom class here. As I have already taught you, I have already talked about the custom classes. Like for example, if I let's say I will take one text here, hello, and I want to give that custom class. So I will quickly write text and then square bracket, and I will paste this class. So you can see the hello have this class. Now let's say I want to use this class for my body color or for my components. So I have to write this syntax. Every time I have to write this syntax, which is not good. Like, you have to remember this class name, or you have to go to another file and then you have to copy and paste. So everywhere you will be doing copy and paste. So what we can do, we can replace this syntax with much a simpler syntax which will be easy to remember. So what we can do, let's say you want to name this class frontend lab, or you can also name it as a primary color. So for now I will name it as frontend lab, but you can name it anything you want. So the syntax is what we can do here. We will write color, and you can see we have the bunch of suggestions here. You can define animate, blur, breakpoint, color. So we will use color, and then the name of the class. So I will write frontend lab and then colon, and then just paste the hex code. And then what we will do, we will use this frontend lab here. So I will remove this and I will write dash, and then what we do in Tailwind, after text we write the class. So suppose if I want to give red, so I write red. Now I want to use frontend lab class here. So what I can do, just as red I will write frontend lab. Now you can see Tailwind is already suggesting me this class text frontend lab, which gives this color. So I will press enter, and you can see we have successfully defined our frontend lab class and we have this color. Now it will be very much easy to remember this class frontend lab. So suppose if you want to give frontend lab class to this card component, then instead of background blue 300, you can replace it with frontend lab. You can see now we have the frontend lab class. Also you can change the name if you want. You can keep it as primary color or anything. So this is how we can give custom classes in Tailwind. Now we are going to create our first project. The first project we are going to create is this portfolio site. We'll create the same exact site from scratch. We are going to use all the knowledge which we have learned in the crash course. So let's start. So first, here we are going to create this nav bar. So you can see here, first we have this beautiful looking nav bar with the home, about me and contact me options. Then we have this hero section. In the left side we have this title, welcome to my site, and some text here with two buttons, hire me and view resume. And then here we have this image. So first we are going to create the nav bar, and then we will create the hero section. To create this site we are going to use Vite and Tailwind. I am going to show you how you can set up Tailwind locally to build this project. So we will search Vite Tailwind and we'll go to this link, installing Tailwind CSS with Vite. So you can see here we have the steps to follow and we can set up Tailwind CSS in our project easily. So first we have to create the Vite project. So I will copy this command and I will go to VS Code and I will open the terminal and simply I will paste this command. So what this command will do is it will create Vite project from scratch, and I will remove this my project and I will write dot. So it will create the Vite project in this directory. I have already created the portfolio directory. I will press enter, then OK to proceed. Then we will choose React, then I will press enter and we are going to go with JavaScript. For this option we are going to select no and then install with npm and start now. Now we have created Vite project successfully and our project is running on localhost 5174 port. So I will copy this link and I will open here. So you can see here we have the Vite project with Vite plus React. So first thing what we are going to do, first we will clean all of this template code and then we are going to start with our navbar. So here in source, if you go in source and then first I will delete app.css folder, then I will press command A and I will remove all of this code, and then in main.jsx we have this app component. Then I am going to remove all of this code and I am going to create one app component which will simply return one h1 tag saying hello world. Then I will export this app component and here we are already calling that app component. Then in assets folder we have this react.svg, so I am going to delete this assets folder. Yes, after creating the Vite project we are going to install Tailwind CSS. So I will copy this command and then here I am going to open the terminal and paste the command and click enter. You can see Tailwind package is installed. You can verify this by going in package.json and you can see here we have the Tailwind CSS version 4 is successfully installed. After installing Tailwind CSS, the next step is to import the Tailwind CSS in vite.config.ts file. So I am going to go in vite.config.js file and here we are going to call Tailwind CSS. Then let's see what is next. Then we have to import this Tailwind CSS in our CSS file. So I will copy this import statement, then I will go to index.css and I will paste the import statement here. Then let's close this index.css, vite config file and main.js as well, and let's give Tailwind class here. So the simplest class we are going to give is background black, and let's see if this is working or not. So if we go here, then you can see we have this div saying hello world and the background color is black. So we have successfully installed Tailwind in our portfolio project. Now we are going to create our navbar component. So first thing what I am going to do is create one folder components, and here I am going to create one file navbar.jsx component. Here I am going to take one navbar component. For now it will simply return one div saying navbar, and I will export this component. Then let's call this component in app.jsx. I will remove this background class and this class attribute as well, and I will call the navbar component here. So let's see the result. Yes, we have navbar here. Now let's modify this navbar so that it should look like this. So again I will go to navbar component. First let's remove this div and we are going to take the nav tag, then one span tag. I will write here a, then I will give some class to this span tag. So the first class I am going to give is the background color to blue 500, then the text will be white, then rounded full. So rounded full means the border radius will be in circle. You'll have the 100% border radius. Then the width will be 10, which is 40 pixel 2.5 rem, and the height will be 10. Then I'm going to make this as flex, then item center and justify center. And let's increase the text to 2xl. So 2xl means 1.5 rem. Now let's see the result. Now we have this A title with the background color blue and the full border radius. Let's add some class to this nav tag as well. First I will make this nav as flex and the gap will be 4. And now we are going to use the media query. So I am going to use the media query of medium. So as you know, medium means the width will be greater than or equals to 48 rem or 768 pixel. So when the width is greater than or equals to 48 rem, then the gap will be 0, else the gap will be 1 rem. I'm going to make the items as start, and on medium I'm going to make the items center so that our website will also be responsive. Then just justify between. What justify between does, it will justify the content in space between. Then we are going to make this as flex wrap, and on medium we are going to make this as flex row. Then after this span tag I am going to take another div, and here first I will take one span tag again. I will take one image tag. Initially the source will be empty, alternate tags will be empty. I am going to place the URL here, but for now let it be empty. Then I am going to take another span tag of home. Here in the public folder I have created one assets folder, and we have here the hero image, the home icon, then the phone icon and the user icon. So don't worry about the icons, all these assets will be available in the description below. So you can click the link in the description below to download all these assets. Then after this, first we are going to fill this source. So I will write slash assets, means in assets folder, then home icon.svg, and the alt tag will be home icon. Now let's see the result. So yeah, you can see here we have the home icon with the title home. After this we have to create two more options. Like we have created the home, we have to now create the about me and contact me. So let's create this. First let's add some class to this parent container. So first class I am going to add is, I am going to make this div as flex, then items center, justify center and gap of 8, which is 2 rem. Then I am going to add some more class to this span tag. Text will be gray 600, then it will be a flex, item center, then justify center, gap will be 0.5 rem, which is gap of 2. Let's make this as cursor pointer, and on hover we will change the text color to blue. Let's see the result. Yes, if I hover it, you can see it is changing the text color. Now I am going to copy this span tag and I will paste this 2 more times. But I would suggest you to don't copy paste this span tag. you can write it by yourself so that you will build your muscle memory for all of these classes. So for now I will copy paste this span tag and I will change the source and title. So for this we have user icon. I will write here about me. Then here we have the phone icon, contact me. Let's check the result. Yes, we have the home, about me and contact me. Now first you can see here we have some padding. So let's give the padding and width for this navbar. So I will go to app.jsx and I will add some classes here. So first I will make this div as flex call, which is flex direction column. Then the height will be 100 vh, which is h dash screen, means the height will be 100 vh. Then width will be full, and on the x-axis we will have the 8 padding, which is 2 rem 32 pixel, and same for y-axis. And on the medium size we will have the padding of 28 and gap of 16. Now let's check the result. Yeah, I think it is now looking better like this. Yes. Now we are going to create this hero section. So let's create this. So I will create one component here, the hero section component. So hero section dot jsx, and let's create hero section component which will return one div saying hero section. Let's export this component, hero section, and I will call this hero section component here. Now let's check if it is visible or not. Yes, we have the hero section here. Now let's create this hero section component so that it should look like this. First, for hero section we are going to create this welcome to my site title. So here I will remove this hero section and I will take another div and one span tag. I will write welcome to my site, and let's add some Tailwind class here as well. So first class I am going to add is this text color. Then the text size will be XL, which is 1.25 rem. I am going to add some class here as well. So first I will add some margin. So the margin top will be 8. I will make this div as flex, items center, justify center. You can see while I am typing I have these suggestions here. So for this I am using one extension which is Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. So make sure to install this extension and enable it so that you will have the Tailwind class suggestions. Then let's go back to our code, and then I will add another class here. On medium I am going to make the margin top as 24. On medium sizes I am going to also make this as justify between and flex wrap. Now let's see the result. Yes, we have this welcome to my site here. Now we are going to create this title as well. So let's create this. So after this span tag I am going to take one h1 tag and I will write here, hi, I am John Doe, a UI UX designer. Yeah, we have the title here. Let's see this title. Yeah, we have, hi, I am John Doe, a UI UX designer. And if you see, for this title we have the text color different for designer and the text color is different for this one. So let's create this as well. So first I am going to add one break line here so that the UI UX designer will go to the next line, and then after the UI UX designer I will add some space here, and then I will wrap this designer inside one span tag, and I will change the text color to blue 600. Now let's see the result. Yeah, I am John Doe, a UI UX designer. Yes, so you can see, hi, I am John Doe, and after this I have added the break line so that it will go to the next line, and then I have added some space here, and then the designer title. Let's remove this space. Then you can see here we don't have any space after UX, so that's why I'm adding some space here. Now let's add some class for this title as well. So the first class I'm going to add is make the text size to 5XL, and on medium devices I'm going to make this as 7XL. Margin top will be 8, text color will be blue 500, and I'm going to add one more class which is leading tight. So leading tight means we are giving the leading space. I will show you the result. So you can see if I remove this leading tight, between these two text we don't have any space between of this. So if we add the leading space, then we have some space between these two title. Now let's add the description. So I will copy this description, and then after this h1 tag again I will take one span tag and I will paste that description here, and I will add some class here as well. So the first class I'm going to add is flex. Then on medium devices I'm going to make the width to 35 rem, margin top will be 8, and the text color will be gray 600. So what I am doing here, I made this span tag as flex, and on medium devices means when the screen size reaches 768 pixel or more than this, then we will apply the width of 35 rem, and less than 48 rem the width will be full. Then we have added some margin top and the text color. So let's see the result. Yeah, it is looking good. Now let's add the two button, view resume and the hire me button. So let's add this as well. So after this span tag I'm going to take one div, and I will take one button here, hire me, and one more button, view resume. First let's add some class to this div. So let's make this as flex, items center, gap of 4 and margin top of 8. We have made this div as flex box, then we have made this items center, added gap which is 4 means 1 rem, and margin top to 8 which is 2 rem. So let's see the result. Yeah, we have the button here. Now let's add some Tailwind class to buttons as well. So here we will add, the first class we are going to add is the cursor pointer, background color blue 500, text will be white. Then I am going to add padding on y-axis as 2 and on x-axis as 6, and then I will press enter here. The text size will be XL which is 1.25 rem, rounded will be MD, and on hover I will change the background color to 600, and I will copy this same exact class for this button and I will paste here. So I will suggest you to write this all of this class from scratch, so that you will build your muscle memories and you will remember all of these class names. So here we are just made this button as cursor pointer, then we have added some background color, the text color to white, and on y-axis means top and bottom the padding will be 2, and on x-axis means left and right the padding will be 6. Then we have made the text size to XL, given some border radius, and on hover we are changing the background color. Now let's check the result. Yes, I think it is looking good. Let's compare with this. Yes, it is looking the exact same. Now let's place this image on the right side of the hero section. Let's go back to the code, and here after this div I am going to take one more div, and here I will take one image tag, and the source will be /assets/ you can see in our public folder we already have the hero image, so I am going to use that image here. So I will write hero image.png, then I will add the alt tag. So alt tag, let it be hero image, And let's add some Tailwind class for this image as well. So I will make the width as 25 rem. Now you can see giving the dynamic width to this image, and the height will be 25 rem as well. And on medium sizes I will make the margin top as 0, and I will add one more margin top as 16. Screen size which is less than medium, the margin top 16 will be applied. Now let's check the result. Yes, you can see the image here. Now let's check is our website is responsive or not. If I decrease the screen size, so you can see now the image is placed here, and let's make this more. So you can see on these devices like the width of 528 pixel, our portfolio website is looking good. So our site is also fully responsive. Yes, so we have created our first project, this portfolio site, and you can enhance this site little bit more. Like you can add the email ID, or you can open the email app if any users click on this button, and you can also add your resume link if anyone clicks on the resume. And for this home, about me and contact me, if you want you can create the another section also, like you can create the about me section, contact me section, like we have created this hero section. You can enhance this site little bit more, and you can make this as your portfolio site. Now the next project we are going to build is this e-commerce site, Shop Ease. We are going to create this exact same site in Vite and Tailwind. So if you see here, first we have this beautiful looking nav bar, then we have this hero section, shop smarter, shop better, with the description and two buttons, shop now, explore deals. Then below this we have this top product section where we can browse the products, and this section is also scrollable. I can scroll to see more products. Every product have the title and the price. Then we have this feature section. Every feature section have the image and the information with the title, description and button, like this. After this we have this beautiful looking footer with the company, quick links, customer support and social handles. And this site is also responsive. If I check here, then you can see this site is also responsive. We can browse the top products, then the feature sections and the footer as well. So we are going to also build this site so that it will be responsive. So let's start. So again I will go here installing Tailwind CSS, and we are going to follow the same process to create our Vite project and to install Tailwind. So first I will copy this command. I will go to my VS Code and I will paste the command here. I will select React, JavaScript and install. Now we have installed all the packages. Now let's move to next command. So I will copy this command to install Tailwind, and I will open another terminal here and I will run this command. So this command will install Tailwind CSS. Now we have installed the Tailwind CSS. Now you know the next step is to import the Tailwind. So I will import Tailwind here. You can see after this we have to import the Tailwind CSS in vite.config file. After this we have to import the Tailwind CSS in our CSS file. So I will go to index.css and I will remove all of this code and I will paste the import statement here. Now the first thing we are going to do is we are going to remove all the boilerplate codes. So first I will delete this app.css file. In app.jsx I will remove all of this code and I will create one app component which will return one div saying app, and let's export this component as well. Now let's see the result. So our app is running I think on the port 5174. So let's copy this localhost port and run here. So you can see we have the app here. First let's start by giving the shop is title, like we are going to replace this e-commerce with shop is. So for this we have to go in index.html file, and here the title will be shop is. Now let's see the result. Yeah, we have the shop is here. Now we are going to start by creating the navbar component. So let's go back to VS Code, and then here first I will create one folder components, and then I will create one component navbar.jsx. I will create one arrow function navbar, which will return one div saying navbar, and let's export this component as well. Let's call this component here navbar. Now let's go to this component and let's start building the navbar component. Let's add some Tailwind class here. Let's make this background color to black. Text will be white. I will make this div as flex, justify between, and the padding in y-axis is 4 and in x-axis it will be 16. So as you know, the py-4 what it does and px-16 what it does. Now here I will take another div and I will take one span tag shop is, and let's copy this and paste here, and let's paste, and I will rename this shop is to shop. Then here we have dealers. Let's make this as best sellers, and here we have deals. And first let's add some Tailwind class here, and before this first let's see the result. Now let's go back to VS Code, and first I will add some classes here. First I will make this div as flex, item center, justify center, and gap of 5, which is 20 pixel. And I will add some class here as well. Let's make the text size as LG. Then we have the font medium, which is font weight 500, and then the cursor pointer. And for this shop, let's make the text size as small, cursor pointer, and on hover we will have the underline. What it will do is when we hover on this shop, we'll have the underline. So what I will do, I will copy this class name and I will paste for best sellers and for deals. I would suggest you to not copy paste these classes and write it by yourself, so that you will remember all of these classes. So let's see the result. Now it is looking like a navbar. See, if I hover on the shop, then we have this underline for best sellers and for deals. Now let's create the right side of the content like this: cart, help, login, and this button. Then here I will take one another div. Then inside this div I will take one more div, and here first I will take one image tag. The source will be empty, the alt will be empty. Then I will take one span tag. Inside this I will write cart. So if you see here, first we want to create this one, like it have the icon with the cart, then help, login, and then this button. We will have the icons later. First let's create the content part. So after this div I will take one span tag help, and then another span tag login, and then we have the sign up button. So it is not button, it is a span tag. We will give the styles so that it will look like a button. Then let's add some classes here. So first I will add some class to this div. First I will make this div as flex, but on medium. On medium size I will make this as flex. Then item center, justify center, gap I will give 5, and I am going to add one more class which is hidden. So what does this hidden do is it will make the display as none. So if I save the file, you can see it is not hidden because on the medium sizes we are giving it flex. Now the screen size is greater than or equals to 48 rem, so this class will be applied. But when the screen size reaches less than 48 rem or 768 pixel, then it will hide this div. If we go here on the nav bar, then currently you can see here we have this flex. In the responsive, you can see the right side content is hidden because the hidden class is applied. Now we can't see the right side content anymore because the width is 584. As I increase the width, which is greater than 767 pixel, then we'll have this right side content. You can see here, if I go, the hidden class is not applied and the flex class is applied. You can see here we have the media query. If width is greater than or equals to 48 rem, then we are adding the display flex class, else we are adding the hidden class. We are doing this so that in the responsive we have the responsive side. We will not show this right side content when our screen size is less than medium size. Now let's move forward and let's add some styles to this sign up button. First let's add class to this div. We have the assets for all the images and icons which we are going to use in our entire e-commerce site. And to access all of these assets, you can click the link in the description below where you can download all these assets for free. So links are in the description, you can access it from there. Now let's move forward, and first I will add the source here. So the source will be /assets/cart icon.svg and the alt will be cart icon. So let's see if the icon is visible or not. Yes, we have the icon here. Now let's make this as flex so that it will be side by side. I will make this div as flex, item center, justify center, gap of 1, on hover let's make it underline, and cursor pointer. Now let's check the result. Yes, it's looking good. Now let's add some class to this text as well. So here I will add some class to this help. First I will make this as underline on the hover, cursor pointer, and the text will be small. For this one it will be hover, underline, cursor pointer, and text will be small. And for the sign up, first we will make the background white, text black, y-axis padding will be 2 and x-axis padding will be 3, rounded full, and the font weight will be medium, text size will be small, and cursor pointer. So let's see the result first. Yes, you can see it's looking good just like this site. Yes, also let's decrease the font size for cart. So for cart we have not added any class, so let's add some class here as well. Let's make this as text sm. Yeah, I think it will work now. Yes, now we have created the navbar component just like this. Now let's create this hero section. First let's create the hero section component. So in the components folder I will create another file, hero section.jsx. Then I will close this file explorer and I will create one component, hero section, which will return one div saying hero section. Let's export this component, hero section. Let's close this navbar component, and first I will call this hero section component here. Now let's see the result. Yeah, we have the hero section here. Now let's build this component so that it should look like this. If you see here in hero section, we have the left content and then we have the right content. In the left content we have this big title, description and two buttons, and here we have this nice looking image. Let's build the left side of the part. So here I will add one div, and here I will take one span tag saying shop smarter and shop better, and after this span tag I will take another span tag. Let's copy this description and I will paste here. So let's see the result. Yeah, it is looking like this now. So let's add some Tailwind class for this as well. So first I am going to add the Tailwind class to the root div. Let's make this div as flex, item center, justify center. By adding these two classes, it will be centered horizontally and vertically. I will add some gap of 8, and on LG means when the screen size is greater than or equals to 64 rem, then we will give the gap of 0. So I hope you are understanding, like when I am using MD and when I am using LG. Like here we don't want to give the gap for the medium sizes, we want to give the gap for larger sizes which is greater than medium sizes. So that's why I am using LG here. After this I will add another class for LG which is justify between. So what will happen is when the screen size is less than 1024 pixel, then the justify center class will be applied, else the justify between class will be applied. Then I will set the width to 82%. Then you can see here I am using the dynamic class of 82%, so we will have the 82% width. Then let's make the margin as auto. Margin top I will give 28, which is 7 rem, and again on LG I will make this as flex no wrap. I don't want to be wrap on large screen sizes, and by default I will add this flex wrap, so that if the screen size is less than LG, then we'll have the flex wrap. Now let's add some class to this div as well. So here I am going to just do flex call, which will be flex direction column, gap of 4 and width full. Now let's check the result. So yeah, it is looking good. Shop smarter, shop better. Let's add some classes to this text as well. So first let's increase the font size. I am going to give the text size to 3.25 rem and the font weight will be medium. And for this description, the width will be full, and on large devices I am going to give the width of 38 rem. So let's check the result first. Yes, it's looking like this. I think here we have some margin top, so we will fix this later when we will place the image. After this span tag, I am going to take one more div, and here we will place the button. So shop now, and another one we have is explore deals. So let's quickly make this as flex, gap of 4 and margin top will be 8, which is 2 rem. And let's add some Tailwind classes to this button as well. So I will make the background color as black, text white, x-axis padding will be 8, which is 2 rem, and y-axis will be 3, which is 0.75 rem. Then the border radius will be medium, which is 6 pixel. Then the font weight will be medium, which is 500. Then the cursor is pointer, and on hover what I am going to do is I am going to place the background color as black /50. So I will explain this class later. First let's check the result. Yeah, it is looking good. If I hover on it, you can see we are changing the background color, but let's increase this from 50 to 90. Now let's check. Yeah, I think 90 is good. So what I am doing here, on the hover I am changing the background color to black, but I am doing /90 so that it will take the 90% of the color. Then I am going to copy all of this class, add the class for explore deals button. Now let's check the result. Yes, we have this shop now and explore deals button looking like just like this one. Now let's place this image. So after this two closing div, let's create the image tag. The source will be empty, the alt tag will be empty. First I will give some class here. So the class will be width will be 20 rem, and on large devices I'm going to give the width of 30 rem and height of 25 rem. The alt tag will be hero image and the source will be /assets/hero image.png. So you can see here in the assets folder, like /assets means here, and then hero image.png, we are using this image, hero image.png. Now let's check the result. Yeah, I think it's looking good. If I go here, then you can see we have the same results like this site. Now the next part we are going to build is this top products. So first let's understand this top product section. So here we have not hard coded anything. Here for top products we have one products API which is giving all of this data like the image, title and the price. So first let's implement the API part and then we will design the UI. So let's go back to VS Code, and here I'm going to create another component, top products .jsx. I will create one component, top products, which will return one div saying top products. Let's export this component and let's call this component here in app.jsx, top products. And first let's check the result. So you can see here we have this top products. First what we are going to do is get that endpoint which we are going to hit. Here in the source I am going to create another folder, utils, and then inside this folder I am going to create one file, app.constants.js. So here in the app.constants file we will place all the constants here. We are not going to use directly the constants string in our app. First we will create the const here and then the variable we are going to use in our app so that it will be reusable. So here I am going to create one const products URL and this is the URL. So see, if I copy this URL and let's hit this URL, then we have all of these products which we are going to use in our app. So let's see one object. You can see we have the products array. If I close this, then you can see it have the 30 items. See this object, we have the ID, title, description, category. So we are going to use the ID, title and the price. If you want, you can also use the description part to show the description. You can show the tags, brand and so much more. So let's go back to VS Code and let's export this products URL. Let's close this file explorer. Here I am going to create one state, products, and this setter function which is set products, and it will be one use state, and initially the value will be empty. After this I will create one method, fetch products. So this method will be responsible for fetching all the products, and it will be a async method. Then const response equals to await fetch, and the URL. So we are going to use this products URL. After this, let's print the response. Before printing the response, we want to parse the response in JSON. So let's write JSON equals to await response.json, and let's print this JSON console.log JSON. But before checking the result, we want to call this method. So in use effect, I will call this fetch products. I will add the dependency array as empty, so that the fetch product methods will be called only single times when this component is mounted. Now let's check the result. So you can see here we have printed the response. If I go to the network tab and if I refresh the page and if I select this fetch, so you can see we are calling our product API by hitting this endpoint dummyjson.com/products, and in the response we have all of these products. So if I go here, so you can see here we have all the products, and every product have the ID, title, description, category and brand and so much more. So first let's use these products in our app. So if you observe here, we have these products. So we have two ways to extract these products. First, what we can do just json.products, and if I save this and if I check the result, then we have all of these products. Or what we can do, like we can also destructure this. If I destructure the products, then we'll have the products directly and we don't have to write that json.product syntax. So if I check the result, then here you can see we have all the products. Then we will set these products as products. Then we are going to use these products to map and return our UI. Let's remove these top products, and here first I will take one span tag and it will be top products. You can see here we have the top products and the product card. And let's add some class. Text will be 4XL and the font will be bold. Let's add some class to this div as well. It will be flex call, which is flex direction column. I will give the width to 80% of the screen size, margin as auto, so it will be in center. The margin top will be 28, which is 7 rem. Now let's check the result. I will close the console. You can see here we have these top products. Now after this span tag, I will take another div, and here I will map through the products. So products.map, and here on prod we will have each product. So what I will do, I will simply return one div and I will do prod.title. Now let's check the result first. So you can see here we have all the products title. Now what we have to do, we have the product title, we can now show the price and image. So for this, what I will do, I will cut this prod.title, and first I will take one image. The source will be prod.thumbnail. So if you see in the response, for every product we have the thumbnail like this one. So if I click here, we can see every product have this image. So we are going to use this as a product thumbnail. Now let's go back, and the alt tag will be prod.title, and let's give some class here. So the width will be full, height will be full, and object fit. So the object fit will be fill, it will fill in the card. Then let's add some class to this div as well. So first let's give some width, maximum width. So as you know, in the crash course we have learned how to give the maximum width so that our width size will not exceed the maximum width. So the max width will be 70 and the main width will be 70. So what it will do, suppose if we have given width size 65 or 60, the width will always be in between 70 to 70, not more than 70 and not less than 70. Then I will give the height to 80, which is 320 pixel, flex, then flex call, items will be center, justify center, so horizontally and vertically it will be center, and white space no wrap. And the next important thing we have to add here is the key. So as you know, in React, when we are mapping through the array, we have to provide unique key for each element. So here I will add the key as title, as the title will be unique for each product. After this image, I will take one span tag, and here we will have the product title, and after this span tag we will have the product price. And let's make this price font weight as medium. Now let's check the result. So you can see here we have the top products, and every products have the image, title and the price. Also I think we have the dollar symbol here, so let's place dollar here. Yeah, I think it's now looking good. Now if you see here in shop is, you can see we can scroll like this in vertical manner, but here we are scrolling like this in horizontal manner. So first let's fix this. So to fix this, I will add class here. First I will make this div as flex. I'm going to give some gap so that each product will have the gap. Then I will make the overflow as x scroll so that it will be scrollable in the x-axis, and the margin top will be 8. Now let's check. Now you can see we can scroll in the x-axis direction. Also you can see here we have this scroll bar. So we are going to hide this as well. So let's hide this. So the class I am going to add is the no scroll bar. So you can see this is not the class which is provided by the Tailwind. So I am going to create this class in our CSS file. So I will go to this index.css and I am going to create this class as no scroll bar, and I am going to add the scroll width to none. Now let's see if it is working or not. Yes, it is working. Now the scroll bar is no more. Now let's go back to our component, and here we also have to add the background for each product. So to give the background, I am going to add the custom class here. So I am going to take the theme directive. So as we have learned in the crash course, we can give our class for anything, like for font size, colors, font family, breakpoints and so on. So here in the theme directives, I am going to add this class color wild sand. So we are going to use this wild sand class for our card background. So here I will go to this top products and I will add the background as wild sand. You can see Tailwind is already suggesting this class. So I will click enter, and then I will add some padding of 4, which is 1 rem, and rounded will be LG. Now first let's check the result. Yeah, I think it's looking good. It is looking just like the shop is site like this. We are going to add some margin when we will build our feature section, but it is looking same as this one. Now we are going to create this feature section. So you can see for each feature we have the image, title, description and button like this. Then you can see after every feature it is reverse, like now here we have the content and here we have the image, then here we have the image and then content. So we are going to build this exact feature with all of these assets and content. And don't worry about all of this image, you can access all of this image by clicking in the link description below, and you can freely download all of these assets. So first I am going to create one component which is feature section.jsx. Then I will close this file explorer, and here I will create this component feature section which will return simply a div saying feature section, and I will export this component, export default feature section. And first let's call this component in app. So I will call this feature section here. Now here in feature section, what we have to do? First we want this image, and then we have this description. So in the left side we have this image, and in the right side we have this content. So let's create this. So first I will take one div here, and I will take one image. The source will be empty, the alt will be empty for now. Let's set the height and width for this image. So I'm going to use height and width of 28 rem, and height will be 25 rem. And object contain, so the object width will be contain. And here we have the title, and here we will have the description. And after title and description we have the CTA, which is call to action button. I will write CTA here. Now let's check the result. So yeah, here we have this empty image, title, description and CTA. So let's go back to VS Code, and first let's add some class here. So first I will make this div as flex, then flex direction will be column, and items will be start. I will give some gap of 1 rem, justify center, and I'm going to set the hard coded width for this. So I will set the width of 30 rem, so that we'll have the width of 30 rem like this. It will take the width from here to here. Now first let's copy this title, and let's replace this title with this one. Same for description, and the button will be learn more. Now first I will add some class to the container div, means the root div for this feature section component. So if we check the result, we want to make this container to move here like this one. So for this, what I will do, first I will add some margin top, which is 28, which is 7 rem. Then I will give some padding in the x-axis as 8, which is 2 rem. Items will be center, and on Excel, which is greater than 80 rem, I'm going to give the gap 0, and by default we will give the gap of 8. Then it will be justify center. On large, let's make this justify between, and flex wrap. So let's check the result. Yeah, nothing changes much. Let's add more classes to this div. So first let's make the background color as wild sand, padding 8 and rounded to MD. And let's make this title text to 4XL, font will be bold. And let's make the description text size to 16 pixel, which is text base. And let's add some class to this button as well. So first, if you see here, the background color is black, and on hover we are giving the dim black color. So let's add that as well. So the background will be black, text will be white, x-axis padding will be 6 and y will be 3. Then we will give some border radius, font will be medium, cursor is pointer, and on hover we will give the background color black, divide by 90. Now let's check the result. Yeah, you can see we have this button, title and description. First let's place the image here. Here we are going to use this PNG image, first feature.png. So I will write here slash asset slash first feature.png. Let's see if it is working. Yes, we have the image here. Now if you see, it is taking the full width, but we don't want this. We want it should take this much width, and the content should place in the right side. So for this, what we are going to do, we'll wrap this feature section inside this div, and we are going to add some class here. So first I will make this div as flex direction to column, width full, and on large I am going to give the width as 80% and the margin will be auto. So first thing, I forget to add flex here. If I don't add flex here, then all of this class like items, gap, justify center, between, flex wrap will not work. So first I will add this flex class and let's check the result. So you can see it is looking like this features. Yeah. Now if you see what we want to do next, we want this feature section to repeat multiple times, like this one, and this one. So now we have two options. First option is to write the code for this section, then for this section, then we have to write code for every section. So it will be repeating code. As you know, we follow the try principle, means do not repeat yourself. So what we are going to do is we are going to reuse this feature section component multiple times. So let's say if I call this feature section, let's say 2 more times or 3 times, and let's check the result. Now you can see it is giving the same result as previous one, but now we can reuse this code. And what we have to do, we have to just change the title, description, and we want for every other section the image should place here and the content should go here. So for this, what we are going to do is we will pass the props for title, description, button text, and the class names. So you can see here we have the different title, different description, and different button title. Like here if we have learn more, then for this we have browse categories, then view best sellers. So we are going to use the props for this content. So let's go back to VS Code, and here what I am going to do is I am going to pass the title props, then the description, then the CTA title for our button, and you can see for every feature we have different image, so we have to pass the source link as well for the image. Now let's copy this and paste for this feature, for this feature, and for this feature as well. Let's see how much section we have. 1 2 3 4 5. So let's copy paste it one more time. And now what we will do, first let's copy this title and paste here, and then let's copy this description and paste here, and the CTA title will be learn more, and the source image will be assets and first feature.png. So what I am going to do is I will make all this feature section, title and description to same as this one. So what I have done here, I have passed props like title, description, call to action title, and source image. So while calling the feature section component, I have passed different title, different description, and different CTA title along with the source image. Like for this feature we are using this second.png image. This is for third, fourth, and 5. And if you observe, for every other feature section, like after this one, I am passing some classes also. Like I am passing flex row reverse. So what it will do, it will place the content to the left side and the image to the right side. So I have passed this class after every other feature section. So to consume all of these props, we have to make changes here. So what I will do, I will destructure the title, then we have the description, then the CTA title, then the class names, and last we have the source image. Then I will remove this source which we have hard coded here with source image which we are getting from the props. Then for title, I am going to replace this with the props title, and I am going to make the same for description. So description, and here we have the CTA title. And to use this class names, I am going to wrap this class inside the curly bracket, and here now what we can do, we can use the dollar symbol to dynamically use this class name props. So I will add these class names here. Now let's check the result first. Let's refresh the page, and now you can see we have this feature section just like this one. The Black Friday, why choose us, then shop by category, then we have this trending right now, then we have the limited time deals, and so on. So you can see here how we have created a single component feature section, and using these props we have reused this component for every other feature section. Like the title, we have passed the description, the button title, and the source image. So I hope you have understand this, how we are reusing this same component with props, so that we don't have to write the code for every other section. Now let's create the footer. So we have to create the footer like this. So let's go back to VS Code, and first what we will do, first we will create one component, footer.jsx. So here I will create one footer component which will return one div saying footer, and let's export this component footer. Now first we are going to call this component in app.jsx. So here I will call the footer component. Now let's see the result. Here we have this footer component, and if you see, first we have this shop is logo, the title, then we have this button visit help center, and then we have the company section, quick links section, then the customer support and social handles. After this we have this two image to download the app on Google Play and App Store, and then we have this copyright title. So first let's create this part, then the visit help center, and then we will move to this section part. So let's go back to VS Code, and I will remove this footer text, and I will write shop is. Then first let's add some class to this div. So I will make the background color to black, text will be white, and I will give padding of 20, which is 5 rem, and on medium screen sizes I am going to give the padding in x-axis as 36, which is 9 rem, and then the margin top will be 16, then flex, and flex direction will be column. And let's add some class to this shop is title as well. So first I will make the text size to LG and font weight to medium. So let's see the result. So yeah, here you can see we have created this shop is title like this one. Now let's create this visit help center. So again I will take one span tag, I will write visit help center. Let's give some class to this text as well. So first I will give some margin top, then on hover we'll have the underline and the cursor to pointer. Now let's see the result. So yeah, here we have this visit help center, and if I hover on it we have this underline. Now let's create this section, the company section. So after this span tag I am going to create one div, and then here I will take one more div, and inside this div I will take one span tag and I will write company. And let's quickly add some class to this company, like I will add text LG and the font will be medium. And let's add some class to this div as well. So it will be flex, because we will have multiple sections, so it will be flex, justify between, so each section will have the equal space. Gap, we will give some gap of 2, then we'll give margin top as 8, and flex wrap, so that if the width of the screen sizes reduces, then our section will wrap to another line. After this span tag I will take one more div, and here if you see we have about us, then our offerings, newsroom and investors. So let's create all these title. So for this I will take span tag and I will write about us, then again offering, then we'll have, after our offerings we have newsroom and investor. So newsroom and investor, and let's make the font size of this about us to small, and I will copy this class name and I will give this class to every other span tag. And let's make this div as flex call gap of 3 and margin top of 2. Now let's see the result. So yes, here we have this company, about us, our offerings, newsroom and investor. Now like this we have to create these quick links, customer support and follow us. So let's quickly create this part. So what I will do, I will copy this div and I will paste this div 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and let's check the result. So yes, here you can see we have this 4 section like this one. Now just we have to change the content. So let's quickly change the content. Let's copy this quick links and I will place the quick links here. Then we have home, shop, best sellers and deals. So here we will have the home, then shops, then we have best sellers and deals. So best sellers and deals. Then after this we have this customer support, then here we have FAQ, then we have shipping and delivery, then returns and refunds and privacy policy. Let's create the last parts. So follow us, and then we have the LinkedIn. Now we have created this section. Now let's create this part, the Google Play image and the App Store image. I have this 2 image link, Play Store image URL and App Store image URL. And don't worry, to access all of this code you can click the link in the description below and you can freely download this part. So after this div I will take one more div, and here first I will take one image tag because it is a image. We have the source, alt and then class name. So first let's place the source. So the first image is Play Store image URL. The alternate will be Play Store icon, and I will add some class here. Let's make the width to 7.8 rem and height to 7.8 rem as well, and the cursor will be pointer. And let's copy this image and just replace the Play Store image URL to App Store image URL, and I will replace this Play with App Store, and let's see the result. So yeah, here we have this 2 image. Let's add some class to this container div for this image container. So here I will make this div as flex, items center, justify start, so it will be on the start, and let's give some gap. Now let's check the result. Yeah, I think it's now looking exactly the same as this one. And now let's copy this copyright title and let's create this one. So here I will take one span tag and I will paste the title, and let's give some class. So the margin top will be 4, and let's give text gray to 400, and let's make this text to 12 pixel, which is text access. Here what I will do, I will remove this span tag from this div and I will place this span tag outside of this div. So now let's check. So yes, here you can see we have this copyright text below of this image, just like this. So now you can see we have created this beautiful looking footer section as well. We have built this entire e-commerce site from scratch in Tailwind CSS. We have learned new concepts and we have understand everything in Tailwind and in React, and how we have step by step we have created all of this section and features. If you have any doubts, you can comment below. Now let's move to our next project, which is going to be a exciting project. Now we are going to build our final project, which is restaurant landing page. So let's go through the website. So first we have this beautiful looking hero section where we have placed this video, which is going to play infinite times. And then above this video we have this logo, then India's #1 food delivery app, then we have some description here and the Google Play and App Store image. So this is the first hero section. Then if we move downwards, then you can see we have this another section, better food for more people. Then we have some content here, and then this card like 3 lakh plus restaurants, 800 plus cities, 3 billion plus orders delivered, with all of these nice images. Then we have this another section, which is the app features, like what's waiting for you on the app. We have all these features: healthy, veg mode, gift cards, schedule your order, and so on. So you can see we are going to build this section where we have this mobile view, and inside this mobile view we have this card, and after this we have these cards as well. So we are going to build this. Then if we move, then here we have this gold membership section. We are going to build this gold membership section, and after this we have this download the app now section where we are going to place this mobile view, and inside the mobile view we are going to have the QR code to download the app with the Google Play and App Store image. Then finally we have this footer section, the same footer as we have created in our previous project. So now let's create this website from scratch in Tailwind and Vite. So as you know, first what we do is, here we have this Tailwind CSS installation using Vite. So we will follow the same process as we follow for our previous projects. So let's copy this and let's go to VS Code. Here I will open new terminal and I will paste the command, and I will remove this my project and I will write dot, and let's run. Then we will select React, then we will use JavaScript, no, and install. Then it will install all the dependencies. Now we will open another terminal and let's go back to the documentation. Let's copy this command and we will run the command here, and this will install the Tailwind CSS in the project. Then the next step is to import the Tailwind CSS in Vite config. Let's go to vite.config and here we will write Tailwind CSS. After this we have to import Tailwind CSS in our CSS file. So let's go to index.css, let's remove all of this code and let's import the Tailwind CSS. Then I will close this terminal, and first what I will do, I will remove all of this boilerplate code. I will create one app and it will return one div. Let's export the app as well, and after this I will delete this app.css file. Yes, now I think we are good to go. So first thing what I will do, first I will create one another folder which is components, and we are going to create all the respective components here. So the first component we are going to create is the hero section. So I will create one component, hero section.jsx, and let's quickly write this component hero section, which will return a div hero section, and let's export this component. I will close this file explorer, and in app.jsx we are going to call this hero section component. Let's see the result. So our app is running on 5174 port. So I will refresh. Yes, here we have the hero section. So first let's create this hero section. Let's go back to VS Code, and here I will close this file. First I will set the width and height for our app. So I will set the width to screen and height will be screen, and I will make this div as relative. Why I'm making this div relative is if we give any positions like absolute and then if we give top, bottom, left or right, then it will take from our container div. So that's why I'm giving this as relative. Now let's go to hero section, and first again I will set the width and height same as our app. So I will set the width and height to screen and I will set relative. Why I am setting the width and height to screen? Because you can see the video width and height is the screen, like it is 100 VH. So that's why I am setting the width and height to screen. So it will take all the space available in the screen. Now let's go back to VS Code. And here we are going to place the video. As you know, we have this video tag in HTML which we are going to use to play our video. First I will take the source, which is going to be empty for now. First thing what I am going to do is I have these assets, like we have this icon and this logo. You can download all of these assets by clicking the link below in the description. Then what I will do, I will create one utils folder, and in the utils I will create one file app.constants.js, and I am going to paste all of this const. So you can see here we have this const which we are going to use in our entire app. So don't worry about this constant. You can access this code by clicking the link below in the description, and you can freely access all of this code. Now what I am going to do, as you can see, we have this video URL which is mp4. So here in the hero section I will remove this and I will write video URL. Then you can see this video URL is coming from utils and app.constants, which is this one. Now first let's see the result. So you can see if I refresh, currently the video is not playing, it is like a image. So first let's play this video. So to play this video I will write auto play, and then we want this video to play infinite time, so I will write loop, and after this place inline, and we will mute the video. Now let's see the result. So yes, you can see our video is playing now. Now let's create this content. Before creating the content part for the video, like the logo, title and description, if you see in this original website we have some shadow here, black shadow. If I go here, you can see here we don't have anything, but here you can see we have light black shadow. So first let's create this shadow, and here I will take one div and I will add some classes. So first I am going to give the z index to -10, then I will make the position to absolute, then I will give inset to 0, which will be top, left, right, all 0. Then I will give some gradient from top, then from black I will give 80%, and then we have this another Tailwind class via black which will be 20%, and then we have this to transparent. So what I am doing here, first I am giving the -10 z index, then I am giving the position as absolute so that it will take the position from this div. Then I am setting the inset to 0, which is 0 pixel from all of the sides. Then we have this class background gradient to top. I am giving gradient from top, then I am giving the black color, black of 80%, and then here I am giving the 20%, then I am setting the background to transparent. Let's give some class to this video as well. So first I will make the position as absolute, then again inset to 0, then the width and height will be full. Then let's make this as object cover, and then the same z index I am going to give for this video as well. Now let's see. Yes, now you can see here in the bottom we have now the black shadow, just like this one. So yes, then let's now create this logo and the title. I'm going to create another div, and here first you can see we have the image. So in the source the image will be assets / zomato.png, then the alt will be zomato icon, and the class name just I'm going to give the width to 52. Then let's add some class here as well. First I will make this div as flex direction will be column, item center, justify center, height will be full. I'm going to give some padding, so padding top will be 80. Now first let's check the result. So yes, here we have this Zomato logo just like this. Now let's create this part. So after this image I am going to take another div, and here let's copy this one and I will paste here, and let's add some class to this title as well. First let's give some margin bottom to 5, then the px means left right I am going to give 5. Then I will make this text as center. Let's give some font weight, so I will make this font semi bold. Then text size will be 5 pixel, text color will be white, and some margin top. Now let's check the result. Yes, now if you see here, after this one the food delivery app is coming on the next line. So you know we can put this br. Yes, it's coming on the next line. Now let's copy this content, and here after this div let's take one span tag and paste the content, and then let's give some class to this content as well. So first let's make the text color to white, then text size to 2xl, some padding, text will be in center, and font weight will be medium. Now let's check the result. Yes, it is coming like this. So let's use the break line for here as well. You can see after ordering we have to put the break line. So here I will write br. Now let's check the result. So yes, it is coming here. Now we have to place these two image. So let's do this as well. So after the span tag I will take one more div, and I am going to take one image tag, and here the source will be Play Store URL. We already have this URL, Play Store URL, and the App Store URL as well. Let's give some class to this image as well. So we are going to make the width size to 44, which is 11 rem. Let's copy this image and replace the Play Store with App Store. Now let's check. So yes, it is coming like this. So let's make this as flex, so it will be in side by side. Let's make this div as flex, and I will give some gap, and the margin top will be 10. Now let's check. Yes, I think it's looking good just like this. Yes, now we have to create this scroll down effect, which is also have some jumping effect. So let's do this. So after this div I am going to create another div, and here I will take one span tag which will say scroll down. Then I will take one image tag, and we have the icon. So again I will go into the assets slash double arrow dot svg, and the alt will be double arrow icon. You can see in the assets folder we have this double arrow svg, so we are using this one. Now let's close this file explorer and let's check the result. So yeah, the scroll down is not visible because it's the color is black. So let's add some class to this. So here I will write text white and the font will be medium, and again I am going to make this div as flex, items center, justify center, gap of 2, and margin top will be 8. And for the jumping effect we have the Tailwind class which is animate bounce. So you can see we have this scroll down which also have some bouncy effect. Now we have created the hero section. Now let's create the order section, which is this one. First what I am going to do is in the components folder I will create another component, order section dot jsx, const order section equals to, this will be a arrow function, and I will return one div saying order section. Let's export this component order section. Let's import here the order section. Now let's see the result. So here you can see in small we have this order section. Here what we will create first, we will first place this line image, the left side line image and the right side line image. So let's do this. In this div I will take another div and here I will take the image. The image source will be left side line, which is coming from utils app.constants, which we have taken previously. The alt will be left side line and I will give the height to auto and width will be full. Let's copy this div and I will paste here and I will replace left side line with right side line. Now let's check the result. So you can see this is currently coming like this. Let's add some CSS. First I will add some CSS here. First I will make the height to 37 rem and I will make this div as relative. After this I will add some class here as well. Here I will make the position as absolute, left will be 0 and from top I will give -44, which is -11 rem. Height will be auto, width will be 70% and I will give translate x to 70%, sorry, -70%. Now let's check the result. So you can see this is the image which is coming like this. Now let's add some class to right side line as well. So here I will copy this div and I will paste here. I will replace left 0 with right 0. Top will be -55% and translate x will be 65%. You can see currently the line is coming above the hero section. So this will be fixed as we place the content here. So let's move forward and it will be fixed as we move forward by placing this image and the content. So first let's place all of these images as well. Now we have to place this burger image. So after this div I will take one image and the source will be burger image URL, alt will be burger icon or burger image, width will be 15 rem, then the position will be absolute. From left I will give 52 and from top I will give 10. Then after this image we have Momo's image, so let's place that as well. So again I will give the source to Momo's image URL, alt will be Momo's image. First I will give the image width to 15 rem, height to 13 rem, position will be absolute and from right I will give 52 and from top I will give -44. Now let's place the pizza image as well. So the source will be pizza image URL, alt will be pizza image, width will be 15 rem, position will be absolute. From right I will give 36 and from top I will give 40. Now let's check the result. So yes, you can see here we have this burger image, the Momo's image and the pizza image. Now let's create this content part. So let's go back to VS Code. Before creating the title and description for order section, you can see here we have this tomato and this leaves image as well. So let's put these three image on the order section component. So after this image let's take another image. The source will be tomato image URL, alt will be tomato image and the width will be 12, position will be absolute. From top I will give 10 and from right I will give 32. First let's check the result for this image. So the image is coming here, we want here. So I think we have to give the left. So from left it will be 32 and from top it will be 96. Now let's check. Yes, the image is coming here. I have given the top as 96, otherwise it will come here. Now let's place the tomato image for the right side. So I will copy this image and I will make this left to right. Now let's check the result. Yes, here we have the image. I think we want this image here, so I will give the top minus 38. Let's give 32, and now let's check. Let's give top as 10. Yeah, I think it is looking good here, but if you see, this image is little bit in different position, like this is in rotation. Can see our image is not like that. So I will add the rotate class. I will add the rotate 45. Yes, I think this will work. Yes, you can see our image is in rotate position like this. Okay, now let's quickly place the leaves image as well. The source will be leaves image URL, alt will be leaves image, the position will be absolute, width will be 12. From top I will give minus 38, and from left I will give 30%. Now let's check. Yes, the leaves is coming here. Don't worry about this position, as we put the content it will come here. So let's move forward. So after this image I will take one div, and inside this div I will take one span tag, and I will write better food for more people. And after this span tag I will take another span tag, and let's copy this text and paste here. So yeah, it is looking like this currently. Let's add some CSS. So first I will add some class here. So first I will make the width 30%. So it will take the 30% width of the root container. Text will be center, margin will be auto. I will make this div as flex, item center, justify center. The flex direction will be column, and I will give margin top as 14 rem. Let's check. So yes, now you can see, as we put this content part, now we have all the image placed in the correct position. Now let's add some CSS to this text as well. You can see here we have some different font size and font color. So let's do this. First I will do for this text, we have the text color carnation. I think we have not declared yet. So here I will take the theme directive, and I will paste this color. So in our app we are going to use all of this color. So in the crash course, if you remember, I have teach you like we can define our custom class names here, and then we can use in our entire app. So the benefit of doing this is we don't have to write this code again and again. Just we will use this class name and it will work. And you can see here I have also taken some font families as well. So later we will install the Google fonts so that we can use this font family. Now let's go back to order section component, and now if I write text carnation, so you can see the Tailwind is suggesting me this class which we have declared in our index.css under theme directive. That's why the Tailwind CSS is suggesting me this class. So let's use this. Text size will be 5 pixel, font medium, and I am going to give some leading space to 3.5 rem. Now let's check this text. So yes, you can see better food for more people, just like this one. Now let's give some CSS to this text as well. So here first let's make the text color as comet, text size will be XL, margin top will be 8, and I am going to give width to this text which is 25 rem. Now let's check. Yes, you can see it is looking same exact like this. See, if I don't give the width, then it will take all the available space, but I want the text like this. It should take only the 25 rem width so that it will break the content on the next line. So that's why I'm giving the width to 25 rem. Now let's create this card component. Here I will create one div, then inside this div I am going to create another div, and inside this div I am going to create another div. Why I'm creating these three divs? Because if you see here, this card component is created using three divs. We have three different content. like for restaurants, then cities, and then orders delivered. To create this, I am creating 3 div, and inside this div I will take one span tag and I will write 3 lakh. Let's copy this and paste here, and then let's copy this restaurants text and I will create one span tag and the restaurants. Now let's check the result. So here you can see it is coming like this. So let's add some CSS. I will add class to this div. First I will give some border radius. So here you can see we have some border radius for this card. So let's give some border radius. So I will make it as 4XL. The background color is white, and also we have the shadow. So I will make this shadow 2XL. I will give width to 53%. Margin will be auto. Top bottom padding will be 6 and left right padding will be 7. Let's make this div as flex, items center, and I will give margin top to 10 rem. Now let's check. We have created this backside white background card. Now let's place the content. Now I will add some tailwind here. So for this div, first I will make this div as flex, items center, justify center, gap will be 3, flex will be 1, so that it will take equal space. Then I am going to give some border right to border gray dash 200. So if I have written here border dash r means border right, and then I am giving the border right color to gray 200 and some padding right to 5. And then here I will make this div as again flex and the flex call, and I will change the text color for this text. I will give comet, text size 3XL, and font will be bold. And also let's give some text color. So text will be Raven and text size will be LG. Now let's check. Yes, it is looking like this. Yes. Now let's place the image. After this div I will take the image tag, and the source will be restaurant image URL. Alt will be restaurant image. The class I will give some width and height to this image. So width will be 16 and height will be 14. Now let's check. Yes, I think it is looking good. Now let's create this cities and orders delivered. To create this cities and orders delivered, what we can do, we can simply copy this div and I will paste this div 2 more times. So I will copy this and let's paste it 2 times. Now if you check the result, it is created. Just we have to change the content and image. So let's do this. So here I will use the cities image URL and let's change the alt says cities. And here I will use the order delivered image URL and the alt will be order delivered. Here I will give 800 plus and it will be cities. Then here we have 3 billion plus and here orders delivered. And I will give the width to 9 and height will be 12 for our cities image. Now let's check the result. So yes, I think it is looking good. You can see it is looking exactly same as this card. Yes. Now we have created this section. Now let's move forward to features section. So in this section we are going to tell the user about the app features, like what features our app provides, like the healthy, veg mode, gift card, schedule your order. So we are going to create this features section. So in the components folder I will create another component, features section.jsx. I will close the file explorer and here I will create the feature section component, features section. It will return an empty div, and let's export this component and let's call this component here, features section. I will close this order section component and index.css. Here first I will write app features. So now let's see the result. You can see here in the bottom left we have this app features. So let's see what we have to do here. So first we have this background, gradient background. Then we have this what's waiting for you on the app, this title and the description. And then we have these little cards with the image and text. And then we have this mobile view, and inside this mobile view again we have this card with the image and the title schedule your order. So first let's create this background view. You can see this is a fixed height background view, so we will give the height and the gradient background. Here I will add the class. The first class I am going to add is the height. I will set the height to 30 rem, and then I will give the background gradient. Then we have the class from Chablis and to white. Now let's check the result. Now we have this gradient background like this. Here I will take one another div, and inside this div I will take one span tag and I will write words waiting for you on the app. Let's check the result. Yes, it is like this. But if you see after you, the on the app is breaking on the new line. So what we can do here, after you I can add the br tag. Now let's give some CSS. So the text color will be carnation, text size will be 48 pixel, font bold, and I will give the leading space to tight. Let's check the result. So yes, it is looking like this. Now first let's give some class to its parent div so that it will be in center. First I will make this div as relative, then the text will be in center, then flex direction column, items center, justified center, and the top and bottom padding will be 28. Now let's check the result. So yes, you can see now our text is in center. After this you can see we have this description. So let's copy this and let's create this. So after this span tag I will take one another span tag and I will paste the content, and after food I will add the br tag. Let's give some class to this span tag as well. Let's make the text size as XL, text color to comet, font will be extra light, and some margin top. And let's remove this thing and let's check the result. So here you can see it is looking something like this, but you can see here the width of the text is minimum. So let's fix this. To fix this, you can see here after that we have break line. So let's give that break line. So after this we have to put one more break line. You can say it is fixed. Now let's create this mobile view. So let's go back to our code, and after this span tag I will take another div, and inside this div I will take one image, and the image will be phone image URL, alt will be phone image, and I will give width to this image as 18 rem and margin top will be 6. And let's make this div as relative as well. Now let's check the result. So yes, the phone is here. Now we have to place this card inside this phone. So that's why I've given the phone div as relative, so that this card will take position from this phone div. Now let's go back to our code, and after this image I will take one more div. Here I will take the image. The source will be calendar image. You can see it is a calendar image. Alt will be calendar image, and let's give width and height to this image. Width will be 144 pixel and height will be 90 pixel. And you can see after this image we have the text which is schedule your order. So schedule your order. Now let's check the result. Currently it is coming here. Let's move this to here. First I will add the class absolute so that it will take the position from its relative div, and I will make top 8.5 rem, left will be 4.5 rem, and I will give some shadow to XL, background color will be white. Then let's give some border radius to 3XL. Then I will make this div as flex call, items center, justify center, and border, and I will give the border color as Athens gray, which we have in index.css. And after this, if you notice, we have to put break line here for your order will come in on the next line. Now let's check the result. So yeah, it is coming like this. Let's check with this one. I think we have to give some padding, like here we have some padding, so let's give that. So here I will add EY to 3.5 and padding bottom to 2. Now let's check. Yes, I think it is looking exactly the same like this one. Yes, now let's create all of this card component. So let's create this. Now if you remember, when we are building this order section, we have copy pasted this div 2 times, like for restaurants, for cities, and for orders delivered. So here you can see all of this card is exactly the same, like the only difference is the title and image and position. So what we can do, we have two options. First, we can create the card in our component, and then we can copy paste this card multiple times, and we can change the image URL and the text and the positions, but our code length will increase. So what we can do, we can create a component, and in the component we can pass the positions, image, and the text, so that we will reuse the component for creating other cards. Like currently you can see here we have 8 cards, so copy pasting the div 8 times will not be efficient. So let's create a component for this card. So what I will do here, I will create one component, feature card.jsx. Let's close this, and I will create the feature card, which will return one div feature card, and let's export this component as feature card. This component required 3 things. First, the image URL, then the title and class name. So inside this div I will take the image, and the source will be the image URL, which we are going to pass through the props. Let's keep the alt as title, and I will fix the width and height of this image. The width will be 1111 pixel and the height will be 69 pixel. And after this image we have the span tag. Text will be title, which is coming from the props. I will make the text color as ebony clay, and the padding 2. Top and bottom padding will be 2. Now let's add some class here as well. First, let's give the padding as py2 and padding bottom to 2. And then what I will do, I will remove this quotation and I will wrap in the curly bracket, so that I can use the $sign here to dynamically add the class name. Then I will make this div as absolute. Let's give some shadow to XL, background color to white. Let's give some border radius to 2XL. You can see I am giving the same classes which we have given for our mobile card, the calendar image. So let's give flex call, item center, justify center, and the border color will be Athens gray. Now let's use this component. So in this feature section, after this div, let's call the component feature card, and we have to pass 3 props. First is the image, then title, and then some class name. So the first prop I am going to pass is the image URL. So let's see the prop name. So it is image URL, title, and class name. So image URL, the image I am going to pass here is the wedge mode image URL. Then the title will be wedge mode. And now let's check the result. So here you can see the image is not coming. Let's check why it's not coming. So you can see in this component we made one mistake. While destructuring all of this, we have not used the object. So let's destructure like this, and now let's check. Yes, it is coming like this. Now we have to place the position. So you can see how this component is working. It is taking the image URL, the title and the class name. So the title, it is this, and the image. Now let's give some position. So dynamically I am going to add the class name. First I will give the bottom. From bottom I will give 18 rem, and from left I will give 23.5 rem. And if you check the result now, see, you can see the wedge mode is coming here. So that's why I have passed the class name through props, because for every other card the position is different. Now let's copy this feature card component and let's paste. We have to paste this component how many times? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Now let's quickly change this image URL. So this will be healthy image URL, then the title will be healthy, and from bottom I will give 16 rem, and from left I will give 15 rem. Now this will be party image URL, and the title will be plan a party. Let's change the position. From bottom it will be 7 rem, and from left it will be 15 rem. Now here it will be gift cards image URL, title will be gift cards. From bottom it will be 7 rem, and from left it will be 25 rem. Here we have the gourmet image URL, title will be gourmet, from bottom it will be 16 rem. And if you check the result now, you can see we have the left side of the card, like you have the veg mode, healthy, plan a party and gift cards. And after this all we have component which we have called. Now we have to give the positions from the right side. So I will make this right from left, and let's give it 27 rem. Let's change this to offers image URL, title will be offers, from bottom it will be 17.5 rem, and from left first let's replace this with right, and from right it will be 25.5 rem. Let's give it 18.5 rem. Then we have food on train image URL. So for this title, the title will be food on train, from bottom it will be 7 rem, and from right it will be 25.5 rem. Now let's check the result if we are missing anything. Yes, we are missing one image, so let's call that image as well. So for this let's call this component, let's give the image URL. I think the image is, yes, we have to give this collections. So let's try writing collections. Yes, you can see we have this collection image URL, the title will be collections, and let's give the position. From bottom I will give 8.5 rem, and from right I will give 17 rem. Now let's check the result. Yes, the collections card is coming here just like this one. Now we have created this feature section as well. Yes, and I think it is looking good. You can see how we have used this feature card component, so that if we want another card or our app added one more important features, we can just reuse this component and we have the card. Also, if you want to optimize more, what we can do is, instead of calling this multiple times, we can create one JSON, and that JSON will have the image URL, the title and class name, and then we can map through that object or the array, and then we can call this component, and dynamically we can pass all of this to props, so that we can avoid calling this multiple times. if any other feature comes, just we have to add in the JSON and the card will be automatically shown. We don't have to go here and call the component again. But for now I think it is good. And now let's move forward. Now let's create this gold membership section. So here let's close this component, the feature section. First I will create another component. Let's call it gold.jsx, and let's quickly create this component, and I will return div gold, and let's export this component as well. We are going to call this component here gold. Now what we have to create in this component is, first we will set the height of this component and we will give the background color, and we are going to place these two gold coin image. So I will go to here. You can see here we have this gold component. So let's give some class to this gold component. Here first I will give the background color to black. Then I will make this div as relative. I will give top bottom padding to 15 rem. Margin top will be 20 rem. Text color will be white. I will make this div as flex, items center, justify center, and flex direction will be column. I will take the image and the source will be gold image URL. Let's set the alt to gold image, and let's set the height and width for this image. Width will be 306 pixel, height will be 134 pixel. Now let's check the result. Yes, so here you can see we have this gold membership section with the background color black and this image. So after this image I will take one div, and here I will take one span tag. I will write India's top savings. Then again I will take another span tag, and here we have program for food lovers. Program for food lovers. So let's see the result. Yes, the text is coming like this. Now let's give some CSS to this div. So first what I am going to do, first I will set the margin top to 6. Text size will be XL, which is 1.25 rem. Then I will make this div as flex. Flex direction will be column. Font weight to normal. Then again here also I am going to use the gradient. As you can see, this text color is the gradient. So let's give the gradient background. So I will give the background to gradient to right. So the color will be hashtag 8C capital C 6115, and the via color will be E9C and 789, and the to color will be 996 F25. And let's make the clip to text center, and text will be transparent. Now let's check the result. Yes, so you can see here we have this same text like this. So we have used the background gradient for this text. Now what we have to do next is we have to create this gold benefits text. So after this div I will take another div, and first I am going to give some class. I will make the margin top as 6, flex, item center, justify center, and some gap. So here what we have to do, first we have to render this star, then this gold benefits text, and again this star. So let's do this. So here what I will do, first I will take this span tag and I will write gold benefits, and let's give some tailwind to this content as well. So let's make the text size as 2XL and font weight to medium. Let's check the result. Yes, it is coming like this. But if you see our text gold benefits and this one, here you can see there is some gap between the word. So for this we have the class which is tracking, and I will give tracking a custom class which is 4 pixel. So now let's check. So yes, you can see now we have the space between words. So after this we have to render the star image. So to render the star image, what I am going to do is I am going to create one component which is gold star.jsx, and let's quickly create this component gold star, which will return this fragment, and let's export this component, and let's call this component here. So we have to call this component before gold benefits, gold star, and we have to call again after gold benefits. Now let's go into this component, and to create this star, first I will take one div. Let's make this as span tag, and here if you know, we can create this star with the hex code. We have hex code for this star, so I will write and hashtag 9733. So this is the hex code for star, so I'm going to use this, and if you see the result here, you can see we have the star. Now we have to give the gradient and we are good to go. Like this, we have to give the gradient. It's not the background color, it is the gradient. First let's make the text size too large, then again I am going to give the same thing which we have given here. So what I will do, I will copy this and simply I will paste here. Now let's see the result. So yes, you can see it is working just like this. So what I have done here is I have used the same code which we have created for our India stop saving and program for food lovers text. And you can see we have created the gold star component so that we don't have to write this span tag 2 times. After this gold benefits text, we have to create this one. Like here you can see we have the image, then the free delivery text, then this description, and same for this part also, for this right side part also. Now let's create this. So after this div, I am going to create another div, and first I will make this div as flex, gap will be 10 and margin top 8. Now you can see the left side and the right side have the same structure. The only difference is the image and the content part. So again we can create the component for this and we can reuse the code. So let's create component for this. What I will do here, I will create another component and I will name it as image card, and let's create this component image card which will return an empty div, and let's export this component. Now let's see what we have to do here. So first what we have to do here, it will take 3 props, the image URL, then the title and the secondary title. So what I am doing here is the image URL, the title and the secondary title. Then inside this div I will take one image tag and I will set the source as the image URL which is coming from the props, and I will set the alt with title. Let's give width to this image. I will set the width to 4.6 rem, and after this image I will take another div and here I will create the title. Just I will write title here, and again I will take another span tag and I will write secondary title. Now let's call this component and pass all of these props. So here in this gold component I will call the component image card, and let's pass all the required props. So first we have to pass the image URL. So the image URL will be, remember we have the free delivery image URL, then the title will be free delivery, and the secondary title. Let's copy the secondary title from here. So I will copy this and I will paste here. Now let's copy this component and I will paste here, and let's change the content. So here we have the scooter image URL, and let's copy the title. Let's copy the secondary title as well and let's place here. Now let's check the result. So yes, you can see the image card is coming here. Just we have to give the CSS for our title and secondary title. So let's do this. So again I will go to this image card component and first I will give some class to this div. I will make this div as flex, items center, justify center, and gap will be 5, which is 20 pixel. Then I will also make this div as flex again. So flex, and the flex direction will be column, and I will make this title text size to 2XL. Now let's check the result. So yes, it is coming like this. Let's check with this one. Yes, but the only difference is again we have to give this gradient background for this secondary title. So let's do this. So again what we can do, I will copy this CSS and let's use this here. So I will pass this CSS in class name. Let's check the result. So yes, you can see it is coming as the gradient. Just we have to increase the font size. So let's give the font size to XL and let's give some margin top. Now let's check. Yes, you can see it is very much similar to this secondary title text. Yes, I think it is looking good. Now you can see we have almost completed this gold component. Two things is remaining. This image, this gold membership image. So let's place this image as well. So after this div, I will take one image and the source will be gold star image URL and the alt will be gold star image, and let's give some class. So I will first give the width to 19 rem. I will make the position as absolute, top 0, right 0, and I will rotate this image little bit. I will copy this image and I will paste here, and just I have to change the position of this image. So first I will make this width as 11 rem and I will make this as left 0 and I will remove this rotation class. Now let's check the result. Yes, you can see we have this gold image coming like this. Yes, I think it is looking good now. Now let's see what we have to do next. Yes, the next we have to create this download the app now component. So now let's create this component. So here again I will create another component. I will name it as download.jsx, and then here I will create the download component and it will return empty div. Let's put download text and I will export this component. Now first I will call this component here after the download. Now let's see what we have to do here. What I will suggest to you is you can see what we have to do here. You can see here we have to take this title, then we have this description, then we have this image, and then on the right side we have this mobile icon and the QR code inside this mobile icon. So I will highly recommend you to first try building this component by yourself. You can pause the video here and you can see what we have to create here, and you have to just match the design with this one. Here we are not doing anything different. As you can see, for this mobile we have made this mobile as relative position and this image as absolute, and we have given the absolute and we have given the position according to its relative position, and then we have simply here we have the title, description, and these two image. So I will recommend you to try this by yourself first, and if you get stuck then you have the tutorial, you can anytime come and see. So I hope you have able to create this component by yourself, and if you get stuck, now we are going to create this component and you can see what you have done wrong. So let's create this component. I will create one another div. Here I am going to create two divs. You can see the first div will contain the left side item and the second div will contain the right side of the item. Here I will create one span tag and I will write download the app now. And again I will take another span tag. As you can see, we have to write this one, so I will copy this and let's paste this here. So let's check the result. So here we have this text. So first what we have to do, first I will set the height of this div so that the text will be visible. So here first I will give the padding top to 24 pixel and gap to 28, and then I will make this flex item center, justify center. For this component we have to give the background as gradient, so I will make the background as gradient to bottom, and from we have this color FFEDEF. Then into we have to give this color, so hashtag FFDBE0. You can see here I am writing the color directly, but what you can do, you can replace this with class name. So I will recommend you to replace this with class name, and you can use the class name directly here. So you can reuse this class name wherever you want. I will make this div as flex direction will be column, and I will give some CSS to this text as well. First let's make the text as 2.5 rem and font weight to bold, and let's add some class to this description as well. I will make the text size as 2XL and text color to gray 600. Now let's check the result. So yes, here you can see we have this title and description. Now after this span tag I will take another div, and here as you know we have the Play Store and App Store image. So in the source I will place the Play Store URL, alt will be Play Store image, and I will set the width and height for this image, which will be 188 pixel and height will be 56 pixel. Let's copy this image and I will replace this with App Store URL, here App Store, and I will change the width to 167 pixel. Now let's check the result. Yes, here we have this image. So now you can see we have to make the container of this image as flex, so it will come side by side. So here I will make this div as flex, give some gap and margin top to 8. Now let's check. Yes, it is coming like this. Now we have to create the right side of the part. So here we have this phone image and the QR code image. So let's go back to our code, and here after this div, as you can see, this div is responsible for rendering the left side of the content. Now this div will be responsible for rendering the right side of the content. First what I will do, I will make this div as relative, so that the mobile view position will take positions from this relative div. And then I will take the image, and the source will be, so we have this image, phone image URL. Then I will give width and height for this image. Width will be 28 rem and height will be 29 rem. Now let's check the result. So yes, you can see here we have this phone icon. Now we have to place the QR code inside this phone icon, and also we have to create the text for QR code. As you can see here we have this text. So let's copy this. Let's go back to our code, and here I will take one span tag and I will paste the content, and let's give some class to this text as well. First I will make the width to 14 rem. I will make the position as absolute. From left it will be 7.5 rem. From top it will be 32. Text will be center. Text size will be XL. Text color will be text gray 700, and font weight will be medium. Now let's check the result. Yes, you can see here we have this title. So what I have done here, I have just set the width position to absolute so that it will take from this div, and I have set the left and top. If you see, if I remove this position, then you can see our text is coming here. So that's why I have given this position, so that it will take 32 from top and it will take 7.5 rem from the left. Now let's place the image, the QR image. So after this span tag, I will take one image, and here the source will be QR code image URL. I think we have, yes, QR code image URL, and let's give it to 14 rem. Position will be absolute. From left I will give 7.5 rem as we have done this for text, and from bottom I will give 10. Now let's check the result. Yes, you can see here we have this QR code image just like this one. Yes, I think it is looking good just like this one. Now the last section we have to create is this footer section. So if you remember, this is the same footer which we have created in our previous project. So I will recommend you to pause the video and create this footer section by yourself. So I hope you are able to create this footer section. Now let's create the footer section. Again, in the components folder I will create another component which is footer.jsx, and here I will create the footer component which will return one div. Let's export this component footer, and first, as always, we call this component first here. So footer, I think I forget to import, so footer, yes, here I will write footer. Now let's check the result. So you can see here in the corner we have this footer component. So what we have to do, first we have to place this, the app name, then visit help center, and then we have these 4 columns. So let's do this. So here what I will do, I will take one span tag and I will write Zomato, and then I will take another span tag and I will write visit help center. Now let's give some class to this footer div. I will make the background color to black as we have black background color for footer, and text color to white. Let's give some padding, and on medium I will give the padding to 36. I will make this div as flex, and flex direction will be column. Let's give some class to the Zomato text as well. Let's make the text size as 3XL, font weight to medium, and here also I am going to give margin top to 8, and we have some hover effect for this visit help center which is underline, and let's make the cursor as pointer. Now let's check the result. So here you can see we have this Zomato and visit help center. What next we have to do is create this column. So again, after this span tag I am going to take one div, and inside this div I will create another div, and here I will take the span tag and I will write company, and then again I will create one another div, and here I will take one span tag and I will write about us, and I will copy this and paste 3 times, 1, 2 and 3, and let's replace this content with our offerings. Then here we have newsrooms, then here we have the investors. Now let's check the result. So you can see it is coming like this. So let's add some class. So what I will do first I will add some class to this div. First I will make this div as flex, justify between, then I will give some gap and margin top, and let's make this as flex wrap. Footer component will be responsive, and for the company I will increase the font size to LG and the font weight to medium, and here I will make this div as flex direction to column. Let's give some gap and margin top, and then let's make this text as small, and I will copy this and I will make the text small for all of this content. Now let's check the result. So you can see it is coming like this. Let's verify with this one. Yes, it is the same. Now what I will do, I will just copy paste this div. So we have to copy paste this div 3 times, 1, 2 and 3, and now let's check the result. Yes, you can see it is coming like this. Just we have to change the content to match this one. I will recommend you to not copy paste and write the code instead of copy pasting, so that you will remember the class names. So now let's quickly change the content. Let's check the result. Yes, it is looking good. Now the next thing we have to do is this Google Play and App Store image and this copyright text. So let's quickly do this. So after this div, I will take another div, and here I will take image. The source will be Play Store URL, and let's give width and height. Width will be 188 pixel and height will be 56 pixel. And we forget to add the alt text, so the alt will be Play Store URL, and let's copy this and I will replace this with App Store URL. I will write here App Store, and let's increase the width to 167 pixel. And after this we have the copyright text. So I will write here, let's copy this copyright text and I will paste here, and let's quickly make this div as flex, item center, justify center, gap of 2, margin top will be 10, and here I will change this text color to gray 400, text size to XS and some margin top. Now let's check. You can see our Play Store App Store image is coming here because we have made this in center. So what I will do, instead of justify center, I will make this as justify start, so that it will come here, and then I will remove this span tag from this div and I will paste here. And now let's check. Yes, it is coming here, not inside this div. Otherwise this div is a flex, so that the text will come here. Now let's match it with this one. Yes, I think it is looking exactly the same. You can see here in this section we have missed one thing. We have missed this ordering part. After ordering, the next words are coming on the next line. So let's fix this now. So just we have to put the BR tag. So let's go into this component, download, and after ordering let's give the BR tag, and you can see it is fixed. Now you can see we have created our footer component as well, and the last thing which we are missing is this favicon and the title. So let's change this quickly. So I will go into the index.html file, and here I will write Zomato, and for favicon we can use this link tag. In the href I have passed this svg icon. Now let's check. Yes, you can see we have the same favicon and the title just like this one. So finally we have created our third project using Tailwind CSS and Vite. So you can see we have created this nice beautiful looking hero section. Then we have created this order section, the feature section, the gold section. Then we have this download the app now section, and finally we have created this footer section. So I hope you have learned how you can use Tailwind CSS to create this type of beautiful websites using Tailwind CSS. You can see using Tailwind CSS how fast and quickly we've created this beautiful website. If we go with the traditional way like the vanilla CSS, then it have taken lot more effort and time to create this type of website. You can also include this type of project in your resume or portfolio. So I hope you have learned Tailwind CSS from scratch. If you create some other project, like you can tweak this website little bit like the content, image or the layout, and you can also deploy and push your code on GitHub, and you can freely deploy on Vercel. And if you do so, then please share the link in the description so that the other will be inspired to build their own project as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you have learned Tailwind CSS and enjoyed building all of these projects. If you find this video helpful, then please like to this video and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out frontendlab.io. Links are in the description. I will meet you in the next video.